Hello and welcome to Is There Something in This, the weekly writers meeting with me, Scott Dooley, he, Jason Chatfield, as we come up with our ideas that we pitch as cartoons for the New Yorker.
Very
You
smooth.
kind of know this. I think if you're at this point.
Sure. If you're just joining us, Scott is very jet-lagged.
I'm a little jet-lagged.
He's back from his trip to Paris.
Yep.
And he's back on terra firma.
That's right.
How does it feel?
Oh my God, it's so I mean, you just don't do baguettes here. It's so weird. So weird.
Now, do you call them croissants or croissants? What are you doing?
I lent into it a bit.
Yeah.
To the point where Ashika was very much...
That's funny.
Here's my theory. When you go to France in particular, as long as you make an honest attempt...
When you say honest attempt, you mean attempt to actually...
Speak the language. Speak the language, do the accent.
We've spoken about this. You can't take yourself that seriously.
But then after a couple of wines, I get the confidence. And I'm like,
couple of vons.
How you say? And they're
You
like,
do not.
No, I don't do that. I don't go that
That's
far.
more offensive than trying.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a caricature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oui. Okay.
You can become a crudely drawn stereotype though pretty quickly.
And it's funny because they do crudely drawn stereotypes pretty well. Have you seen Charlie Hebdo? I'm going there, I mentioned, for my birthday, so I've been trying to learn French.
Oh, how's that going?
No
How
good.
are you learning it?
There's CDs, like books on tape, that I've ripped. A friend of mine sent them to me as audio files. And they're very old.
I was going to say. So have you got your traveller's checks ready for your big trip then?
And me bum bag?
I was going to say, have a money belt.
Yes, I have. Now, we've had...
how'd we go last week?
Not too bad. We got some nice nods, and she kept a few.
Yeah.
But no dice Friday, unfortunately. But
no, we didn't sell anything.
That's all right. This is the life of a cartoonist. You've very quickly over these 11 episodes come to realise the amount of rejection that comes with being a cartoonist.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I have
quite the
noticed
norm.
that. Yeah. But what did we have? We had a couple... We had one that went...
Yeah, the boxing match won.
The weigh-in, that's right.
You know, the pre-fight press conference.
Where we're going to get along, we're going to get it on because we don't get along kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that whole convoluted thing. So she quite liked that. So she kept it.
And the caption was something, we're going to settle this in the comments of a YouTube video or something like that.
Yep. And, it was good. I thought,
I like that joke.
Yeah. I thought it was all right. I forgot to ask you, any Action Bronson sightings while you're away?
Do you know what? No, but he's been following the...
Now, I thought you were going to say he's been following me.
He's been following the soccer, which is adorable.
Of course
the World
has.
Cup.
How do you know that, though?
Because I follow him on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's like right into Mexico goal.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that. I can picture him as well, just getting really excited
And
about
you can see him being like, the Moroccans won.
Yeah.
Breakout, we're having falafel. His meal would be decided based on...
Now, this is interesting because in New York, everyone's kind of getting into it. Every bar you go into, they've got it on the big screen.
Sure.
They've got speakers or they've got an A-frame out the front saying, we're showing the World Cup here.
Yeah.
Because it's New York. It's a big melting pot. Everywhere else in Australia, except maybe the state of California. The United States, I should say. They don't give a single fuck.
Really?
They couldn't care less. There's barely any reporting on it.
Just to jump in there, I have some I think the World Cup is going to be a pretty good dailies topic, kind of, just as it's happening, just as something that you kind of throw in.
Well, the fact that you and I were sort of throwing around ideas about the World Cup, which is actually the world sport, soccer.
Yeah, and so we had, we were talking about like how the Americans will... the Chicago Bulls are the world champions.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the furthest they went was to play Vancouver Grizzlies or whatever, the Toronto Raptors.
They're the North American champs at best.
Yeah, but I mean, still, you would say, I'd reckon...
Yeah, or when the Yankees won the World Series.
The World Series.
Yes.
In a sport that's only played in
America.
And Japan, I think.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I like about baseball, though, is that it's like, nah, that's it. We're just going to call it the World Series.
What I thought could have been an idea is two Americans. The World Cup is on, and like one of them is it's weird not pretending to like this.
Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because there are some people who just jump on the bandwagon every 4 years and just, it's every 4, right?
It's every 4 years.
See, I'm not a bandwagon.
You're not a bandwagon.
I didn't even...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they just really, they bring out the shirt and it's slightly ill-fitting.
And there's always a lot of like, oh, I love how Pogba plays in the Premier League. All right, mate.
What?
Cool. Yeah.
Come on, mate.
Yeah.
You're not fooling anyone.
The other one I had was the real winner will be cultural stereotypes.
That's great.
Because that's the other one they
That's
kind
fun.
of...
Yeah, all right. Why don't we pitch that as daily? I think
because
funny.
that's one of those sporting... The real winner will be football kind of
right.
cliche kind of...
Also, not sure if the New Yorker readers are particularly ardent fans of sport, just particularly like big sports.
No, but they
people.
they like things Europeans.
Yes.
They like things Europeans like that Middle America doesn't understand.
Precisely.
And soccer is a perfect.
Yes. Now, what was the vibe in Paris about the World Cup?
Well, it was Australia versus France.
That's right. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it was so. We just went to a cafe near where we were staying and with some mates. And one of our friends is a hard out Australian football fan.
Oh, okay.
He had his shirt and he was like right into it.
Right.
And he's telling us about all the players. And I was talking to someone about every 4 years, I become a big expert on football. I'm like, we've got to keep our shape, and he's a great one-toucher. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like diving.
Yeah, diving. That's very specific.
I do the same every Olympics. Like, over-rotated, and like too much splash, and their feet were apart. No, I can't believe it.
You're absolutely right. Everyone becomes
an absolute expert,
an armchair expert at diving.
Yeah, and I'm the same with football. So I just seamlessly walked into that guy, and I'm like, oh man, we need more players out of Europe and all this bullshit.
That's hilarious. I was at the gym. They had it on at the gym, and the guy turned around. Argentina scored. The guy shakes his head and then turns around to make sure that people were looking at him shaking his head. And no one was looking.
No one gives a
except me. I just sort of peeped over and like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah. But Australia was down 1-0, and then we came back 1-1.
Yeah, right.
And the bar when they were 1-0 up was like, okay, well, this is how it should be. And it should be. We are not a very good team.
Not particularly.
And they are.
Right.
And then when it was 1-1, and it's a thing that sports fans know. You'd know as a Yankees fan, having seen them F up a lot of times.
Oh, yeah.
You know when it's like, to you, you're up by the length of the straight.
Yeah.
And then one thing happens, and it doesn't mean you're not in front anymore.
Yeah.
But you've seen it happen so many times, and you just feel every asshole, it just get tight, just in the stadium.
Totally.
Go, they're going to do it again. They're going to do it. And that's what they were like. They were like,
I'm intimately familiar.
God, this is Senegal in 2002 all over again. This is happening. It's happening. This is our Senegal. And so there was a bit of that feeling.
Yeah.
And so obviously we'd had a couple more drinks and we're like, we don't even care about this sport. You guys are meant to be good at this. And eventually order was restored to the force.
Of course.
And they won 2-1.
Of course, that makes sense. But it was nice. It was nice to win for a little bit.
We weren't winning. We were drawing.
Which is as good as we're going to get.
And I was very proud of it. I didn't stand up and go, remember Flanders? Where were you on the Western Front?
See, I know nothing of this.
That's a bit of a World War I reference for you.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, would you want to jump into some ideas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
So this week, it's mostly... and also, if you can hear a buzz here, we said we'd get rid of the buzz. It is so hot here that we decided that our comfort is more important than your enjoyment.
It is a scorcher over here.
I'm sweating hard out, and we've got the air conditioning
I rode a bike to the subway. I don't know. I just thought it would be quicker, then I realised halfway on the ride I'm sweating, and I'm like... This was not a great idea.
Yeah.
It's just a terrible idea.
When it's like one of those, it's when it's very hot here or very rainy, and other people on bikes, because I occasionally will take the Citibike.
Yeah.
Will be like Prius drivers. There's a bit of a nod of like, hey, I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. You
I'm
fell for
just-
this too.
Right. See, I'm new to Citibike. I'm taking it everywhere.
It's great.
It's really good.
I just wish they were a bit heavier.
Yes, and less wieldy.
Yeah.
The thing is, I do get the nods and the they call it the Bushy wave.
Yeah.
I get a few of those.
Yeah.
But in my neighborhood, everybody, like I'm talking, every rack is empty because everybody's on Citibikes.
Well, the kid, because I used to live on your
right
street.
around the corner. Yeah, there was
And
one right on your block.
There was one right on my block.
Yeah.
And the kids figured out how to nick them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So I actually asked a couple, how do you do it? And they're just like, mate,
You thug.
you don't want
You're
this.
a thug.
You don't want none of this.
That's funny. All right.
So my ideas are mostly, I don't think I've got anything that is like, oh, okay, cool, I'll just draw that. That's done. It's more a discussion.
collaborative.
Yeah,
I got a couple of those too. Good.
I know that they don't usually use swears, but I was thinking these are the two ideas I've got. Is like, oh, I'm actually a quarter asshole on my mum's side,
A quarter asshole.
like that kind
Because
of.
the way people talk about I'm a quarter Jewish,
I'm a quarter
I'm a
Jewish,
quarter
I'm a quarter
Spanish,
whatever. It is.
Right.
But then I thought of Jesus, be like, I'm actually half God on my dad's side.
Ha! Yep, that's good.
I think that's not.
I think there's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, half God. On my dad's side.
on my
though.
dad's side. Yeah,
But like rolling his eyes.
Yeah,
even,
dad's
like,
side.
Just
Yeah.
on my dad. What about your mum? I don't know. Virgin.
I
It was like a pie graph, like a 23andMe. It's got like 50% God. Like Jesus looking
Yeah,
at his
yeah,
23andMe. And the rest is like Jerusalem. Like, pretty much. What does everyone have? Like that Mesopotamian kind of
Mongol.
going back to.
It's the Mongol. It's
Is
the
that what it
Huns.
is?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Huns, okay.
Attila.
So everyone has a little bit of South Asian,
like,
East
it's
Asian.
like 98% or something.
Is it West Asian? Something like that?
Well, I mean, the way he
Mongol?
went, because what he did, this was his kind of his revolution was.
This is
they used-
Attila the Hun.
This is no, not Attila the Hun. Genghis Khan.
Oh, not Vlad the Employer.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
Genghis
no,
Khan.
they used horses.
Oh, that was the
So
revolution.
that was the revolution. So they could
Not bow and
travel.
arrows.
They could travel 100 miles in a day instead of it taking a week.
And then
So they would just
Right.
they were just marauding hordes. They were like
Sure.
locusts. They just come through.
You know what's cheaper? Citibike. Imagine what
Well, I
they
mean,
would
the
have
thing is,
dominated.
they had to put their horses into the racks.
Of course,
every
they gotta dock 'em.
25 minutes.
You gotta lift them up at the back. Just
make sure.
just lift up the
The
hind
light's
legs.
still on this one.
I got a flat.
It's a very niche little act out there.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I like the idea. Of, anything.
I think half God.
With half god is great. Because isn't Hercules half god as well? Hercules was half Zeus, so he was half human,
right.
half Zeus.
But wasn't his? I thought his mum was a mythical.
I think his mum was like not Hera or
Yeah,
something.
so
he was cast down to be sort of half mortal, as it were.
Oh, that's
That was
his jeopardy.
Yeah,
that he could
and he had
be
to do
fucked
the
up.
8
Yeah, right.
tasks of Hercules or whatever it was.
Right.
Is he half god? Is that more? I guess Jesus.
I
is
think
better
Jesus
known.
is your
Yeah.
kind of.
Right.
I think everyone knows the story a bit more than
Everyone knows
Hercules.
Sisyphus. Everyone knows Jesus. Everyone knows Moses parting the sea. There's certain tropes, biblical tropes, people know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that one.
That's
we'll draw
what
it
if
up.
what if
That's fun.
Moses was a barber?
What?
And like he's doing like a side part. You know, everyone's got these side
That's
parts.
funny. Moses now, like he's
Moses
in like
now.
a barber on Avenue C.
Yeah.
Just like giving
Yeah,
someone
doing
a mad
side
part.
just with his hands.
That's funny. The parting the hair.
I don't know.
That's not bad. Everyone's walking out, like, so people walking in, sitting in the chair, right? And they've got their apron on, but everyone's walking out with this massive, like, perfect part.
Perfect
like,
part
but it looks
right
like a
down the
wave.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
so
See, to
stupid.
me, and I've always told you this, my favorite cartoon, the perfect cartoon is one that doesn't need a caption.
No caption.
I think that's a
Yeah.
no caption cartoon.
Oh, that's a no caption.
As long as it's clear that he's Moses, and we don't want to put like Moses' barbershop because it's a little bit of SS, but
Yeah.
I have to make it clear that it's him. So his arms would have to
Robes,
be,
yeah.
long beard, robes. His arms would have to be doing the thing. He'd have to have the staff.
Is he only doing redheads? You know, the Red Sea.
I think that might be a little niche, but I think that's a whole thing. Yeah, I like that. That's great.
I went I was at the airport,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to McDonald's because it's the only time I ever eat McDonald's.
I
is at
love
the
it when
airport.
you go to the airport. You always come back with stories. This is how you came
Oh,
up
yeah.
with the customs line, nothing to declare, I do declare.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was yours.
Yeah, that's right. That was at an airport. I thought of that
I
one.
bet
yeah.
it was.
But you can get table service to McDonald's, and I had all these bags and stuff.
Table
and
service?
and so it was just shocking. So
A
but
waiter
it
or the buzzing
no,
thing?
the guy comes out and you hold up a thing,
No
and he
kidding.
yeah. It was actually it was pretty seamless.
Dad, I finally got a job. I'm a waiter. Oh,
Yeah,
good on
yeah,
you, son.
yeah,
What
yeah.
restaurant? Nothing.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Okay.
I'm a McMaitre D.
McMaitre D. Yeah.
But what I was thinking is it's all automated. You don't talk to anyone. It's all touch screen
Sounds
now.
awful.
This is right. So what I was thinking was like a guy selling this but it's still got that hokey McDonald's 60s diner
Yeah.
feel. So someone's selling the system. This is a bit wordy, but
Okay.
saying this new system will take ordering burgers from the 1960s to a confusing ordeal.
This is the same thing that happened when self-checkouts came in
Totally-
Australia.
It's exactly it.
And
Yeah.
I remember my dad getting so, like, you've never seen anyone so worked up as a recently divorced man in his 50s trying to figure out a self-checkout at
Yeah,
Coles.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, my thing is like, you're not employing me.
No.
I shouldn't need to know how this shit
Or
works.
if you're saving money by not hiring these people, I should be getting a discount on my receipt, on my
Yeah.
order, by doing it myself. There needs to be some incentive
yeah.
for me to be
What am
doing
I getting
this.
paid here? So let's
Right,
say
right,
the
right.
award rate
It's not quicker.
is $9 an hour.
Right. So
The
add
time
that to
that I'm doing here,
the prorated.
prorate it and
Everyone takes like an
30
hour.
cents. Yeah.
Someone takes an hour to do theirs.
Yeah.
That does not make it quicker. I love that. See, everyone's trying to automate things. I don't know if you've been to LaGuardia lately, but everything is on an iPad, right? So if you want to order a coffee, breakfast, a drink.
Oh, yeah, I have been there. Yeah.
And I think New Jersey as well. Newark?
Newark.
They're doing it now as well. And it's where there's no people, there's no waiters at all. It may as well be the Jetsons. You walk in, you just push a thing on an iPad, and then it arrives out at your table, right? You swipe your card, it's done.
Yeah, that's right.
But the problem is you can't ask questions. You can't be like, oh, is there egg in there? Is there any eggs in
Yeah,
there?
what do you
there's
reckon? Because
no-
my big thing is...
What do you recommend?
What do you reckon
I do
between
that all the
these
time.
two? What do I want? Do I want this or this? Yeah.
I have menu anxiety. Sophie has crippling menu anxiety.
Yeah.
So, and it also takes way longer for some reason. It takes so long, and it's the one place you don't want.
No, you don't
food.
have time to be effing around.
No.
Yeah.
If you're doing a meal, you want it quick, smart, and it's not. It takes way longer. And so I like the idea. This combines all the inconvenience of.
There you go. Yeah.
With all the the lack of charm of a human being or something. It's all the inconvenience of an ATM of a broken ATM with
Yeah.
something like that. It combines two bad things.
Yes. Yeah.
I think
it's the worst of both worlds.
It's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
Because what happens when something goes wrong? The IT guy comes up. Like, what's the thing that happens? Like, it's not a vending machine. It's an actual.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when it breaks?
Yeah.
Like, and it's hamburgers. Really, we're automating hamburgers
Yeah.
now.
Well, that's the.
How much are you saving?
And-
You're the
and the other-
richest company in the world.
And the other thing is that they try to make everything seem so like this is made to order. This is just for you, and then they completely undermine that.
Of course.
With that initial.
Yeah, because it just falls out of the.
So. Okay, I've got a few.
Okay.
This might be a daily idea.
Okay.
Is just like, I don't know if it's like a deity or something flicking a switch,
Yep.
or if the idea of flicking the switch from complaining about the cold to complaining about the heat.
Yeah.
That's been.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know.
No, and I know it sounds a bit SS, but every now and then you can get away with one if the tag is in the image that doesn't. Like, I would consider SS labeling something, okay?
Yeah.
In a way that it should probably be obvious what this is.
Like a
or
clearly
it's
marked ship.
Yeah. Clearly marked ship. Like it's analogizing something. So there's this. I do hold back from it a lot, but then every now and then there's a classic like, all right, if there's a switch where it's complaining from the cold to complaining about
The
the
master of this is Ellis, Rosen,
Yes, he does
who will
these.
write like commercials.
heat. Oh, and he did a great perfume one with
Collusion? That was the joke. Yeah, that was really funny.
It was very funny.
Yeah.
And it was very good, like the perfume ad style, everything
And it doesn't
that.
feel wordy.
No. Might have even been Hillary.
It's been
I'm
a
not
while since we've had a little Ellis Rosen praise session.
Yeah, today, his daily cartoon was today. He did a good one today.
Maybe that's why it was on my mind.
Yeah, I think that might be. There was actually... Now, can I give you a bit of news?
Yeah.
Now, last week, I know we were talking about my fucking chicken auditions.
Oh, the chicken. That's right. You went to Comedy Central
Yeah.
to audition for something there, and then it turned out to be a commercial for chicken.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, you said, I don't think you're going to book this one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Don't like your attitude.
That's right. You had a terrible attitude.
Yeah, guess what?
You booked it.
I booked it.
Congratulations.
No. Oh, here's the twist. So I had also been auditioning for this other TV show, web series show thing in the previous weeks, but I was so busy with my other show that I was putting on that I wasn't that, it wasn't in the front of my mind.
Sure.
So on the same day as the first refusal came through for this chicken commercial, this Comedy Central thing,
Yeah.
contract came through. I'm on a show.
Oh, wow.
NBC Network.
Oh, fantastic.
So and it's drawing as well.
Oh, amazing.
It's drawing on telly. So I had to knock back, same filming day as the chicken commercial. I had to knock back the Comedy Central thing.
You're kidding.
My manager was fuming. Yes. So,
why is your manager angry you're getting
well,
work?
because I got the TV thing myself, and the chicken commercial was through him. So
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no. So I ended up
When's
getting it.
the TV show
Couldn't even do it.
start?
I don't know. I shoot's on Thursday, so I'll.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So you're
Came out of the
gonna
blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you know about that.
Oh,
Isn't that a
sick.
fun little twist on?
That is certainly a new twist on an old favourite.
Yeah. Just
That's
to book into
fantastic.
last week. Yeah. Anyway, so getting back to these. Okay.
What
else you
about now? This one we need to talk through.
Okay.
The idea of saying it's not rocket science is a fireable offence at NASA. Like it was happening so
yeah,
much
yeah,
that like
yeah.
the thing I thought is like it was like in orientation, like first day.
Yes.
Welcome aboard. Oh, by the way, if you say this.
Yeah, and it can't be a sign on the door like all employees must wash hands. It can't be the equivalent, but it's got to be close.
It's got to be something like that.
Akin to that. Like, by the way, just orientation day. And it's everyone, NASA first day. Now, NASA still exists, but it got its funding cut, right?
Yeah, but
now
we
have
have Space Force.
Space Force.
So this is the day we're recording this is the day that Trump announced that there will be a new branch of the military
I can't believe you're saying these words in this order.
called Space Force.
Now,
So
okay.
should we like talk through some dailies for this?
Yeah, I mean, Space Force, it sounds like a toy, a series
Maybe
of toys.
we could do this as like a little mini separate pod.
Yeah, okay. That's actually a pretty good idea. Space Force pod.
Space pod.
Space
pod.
Space pod. Yes, it's being run by the commander of cheese. Did you hear this? Did you hear Kellyanne Conway on the telly?
Right.
I'm just going to... You haven't heard this.
With the President of the United States and the Commander of Cheese expressing that opinion.
That's great.
The commander of cheese.
That's great.
She said... That's not even... So commander in cheese is
Commander-
one thing. Commander of cheese.
Of cheese.
They're two specific words that she said on purpose, I think. Just to fuck with people.
They're trolling us now.
They are trolling us
Yeah.
now. I've always thought they were, and now I have proof.
Yeah.
Commander of cheese of Space Force.
Space Force. So here's what I had was
Yes.
an agent on the phone to someone saying,
Yeah.
look, it's not all bad news. Netflix passed on Space Force, but the White House just gave it the green light.
And it's some guy who's been writing a screenplay in
and it's a
Starbucks.
terrible- yeah.
on Sunset Boulevard for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Finally. Picked up my screenplay.
The other one was like the idea of them just going into space to separate aliens from their babies.
Oh my God.
Start.
Aliens, though. The
Yeah,
lineup
yeah.
of illegal aliens.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's something. I think they've got something there. Space Force. Doesn't it just sound those words together? Air Force I can understand. Space Force.
Well, there's all these things as well going back to Soviet era Russia
Sure.
where
Star
they
Wars.
signed all these things going, you can't do this.
Yeah. I mean, the Star Wars program. That was already, that sounded like a film, and then it was.
Well, yeah.
And then Space Force already sounds like a Guardians of the Galaxy sequel.
Space Force sounds like a real off-brand.
Oh, totally like Power Rangers that you'd find at a market, like a flea market somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he wants the Power Rangers. Have you got that?
Yeah.
No, but look at this. Space Force.
Yeah, space.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's the kind of thing when you give it to the kid, you have to say to them, the man said all the kids love these.
Yes.
You know, the greatest disclaimer for this
my
is
God.
a shit gift.
Do you know?
The man said.
Do you know what Space Force sounds like? Space Force sounds like the movie that Trump made that fucking trailer for.
Well, that's right.
The Korean, you saw this propaganda trailer.
Yeah.
That sounds like the trailer for Space Force.
Yeah.
One man in a world.
Yeah.
Space Force. It's Korea and America teaming up.
Maybe it is just a movie poster.
It could be a movie poster. Yeah, because I feel like also with the movie trailers thing, is he now just every time he wants to, he thinks diplomacy is making a fucking movie trailer?
Well, I think he
really likes them.
He's a
propagandist.
He's a real propagandist. Is one.
Yeah.
He's a real perception guy. Like
Sure, yeah.
He believes.
He's a salesman.
Yeah. So
So he considers like Senate, like voting on something. It's like, oh, how did opening weekend go?
Exactly.
What are our numbers like?
What are the numbers like?
What are the numbers
How many
like?
views do we have?
Yeah, because opening weekend would be like, how many votes a bill got on the floor? Like, that's what are our numbers like?
Yeah, that's right. How the numbers.
On opening weekend.
Yeah.
Only thing Senate would never sit on. They would never sit on a weekend.
No, absolutely.
They would never work.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Actually, I had one for you which you could use for Ginger Megs.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a cartoon,
No,
but I think
I'll
it's a
take 'em.
Megs. I think it's a Megs.
I'll take all comers.
Which is a teenager clearly in trouble saying,
Okay.
could I interest you in his and hers excuses?
That's funny. That's very funny. Can I?
That's a Megs.
You know what? I'm going to put your name on that one.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Okay.
You're in Dills?
Yeah.
All right, Dills and Shadow. Okay. That's great.
Okay. I don't know. I've got a few here.
Can I, apropos of that, can I just say that congratulations to Jim Davis on 40 years of Garfield this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him in Vegas. We had a hell of a weekend.
That sounds like, that is such
We did 2012.
That is such like a Family Guy reference. Like, oh, what happened? Oh, I ended up partying with Jim Davis, you know, the guy that invented Garfield.
Oh, Peter.
That guy's got a... All right.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
This one, I feel like you're either going to love or hate this idea.
Oh, I love these ones.
It's the devil. I don't know if he's on a golf course or he's on a hammock or something. I feel this is way too ham-fisted.
You've done a few devils lately.
There's
You've got
a
some
few
Faustian
devil-y.
bargains.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's talking to someone and he goes, he's saying, I know it's lazy, but since outsourcing America to what's his name, I've never had more energy.
What's his name? He'd hate that, wouldn't he? Hate that?
That would annoy me.
That's not bad, actually.
I don't know. It's a bit.
Outsourcing.
Maybe it's a bit clunky, like saying these. Like the devil.
Well,
I don't know.
Honestly, I mean, I think it's fine. Honestly, also mad. That's a bit mad.
It's a bit
as
mad-ish,
well.
yeah.
So, but it's on the border. Like they've been running things in the New Yorker lately that I thought, oh, that would run in either Mad or the New Yorker. They're really sort of changing the parameters of what they might sort of run.
Yeah.
Something I would have thought a little bit outlandish.
Right.
They've been running some stuff. I'm like, you know what? Good on them.
Okay, I've done enough. I'll do some.
Oh, you have?
Well, I've got one more, but I don't like it, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's call it bonus content.
Hey, just
Yes.
before you go, you know
Dive
how
in.
when you go away, there's two things that happen when you go away.
Okay.
Firstly, you see an ethnic variation on people you know.
Yes.
You're like, oh my God, Japanese Matt. And
Classic.
look, it's Turkish Susan. Like,
Turkish Susan.
So
It sounds like a kind of rap.
I saw a lot of kind of like, oh my God, that is exactly what my friend Kim would look like if he was French. But the other thing about Europe, which I always forget, there's always a weird pop song, which is the number one
Yes.
pop song, and you hear it everywhere.
Okay.
And it's just a weird, like, techno-y
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of. But for Paris is like the fashion capital
Yeah.
of the world, like one of the. Their t-shirt game is so shit. Do you know what everyone's wearing
Really?
in Paris?
No, what?
Levi's t-shirts, like
Oh.
Levi logo t-shirt,
It's like
or
Perth.
just Euro t-shirts that just have weird shit. Like I saw a woman wearing a t-shirt that just
Yeah.
said music.
Was it not ironic either?
No. It was like,
it's
don't
genuinely.
make me choose. I think they're all talented.
What if she doesn't know what it means? It looks like a foreign...
I think she knows what music means.
I mean, the word.
The word, no.
I guess they learn... No, they do learn English.
Everyone speaks English, yeah. But
Or
the
they
best
learn
one
it-
is like coconut water. It's just like... It's
not even a brand.
No, it's just shit they've seen on Instagram.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because there's a company called Brandless, which is getting a lot of traction right now. Because the new thing is to have no brands, and so there's a thing called Brandless where you just go on and you just order like tissues and body wash and toilet paper and shirts and underwear and all that stuff. And there's no brand, and so they escape the federal brand tax. So it's like $3 for like a whole like 20.
That's
rolls of toilet
interesting.
paper. But like those brandless, that'd be like trying to find like a cool brand, like a coconut water brand, but it just says the actual thing it is.
Yeah.
And I can imagine actually a surreal scene of a bunch of people walking around, and the reality of what it is, like just a guy walking around with a sugar water like on his shirt, and then another one just like shoes.
Yeah.
And then another one like shirts and hats.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what you're
Local
really doing.
sports team.
Local sports team, yeah. Just people with the actual shirts with the thing they're really advertising on them. My first one this week, dare I ask, is there something in this? Because it was related to Garfield turning 40. Because a cat approaching 40, like middle age, like... There's something, I think, inherently funny about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you follow the stock market or the financial indexes or anything like that. But I thought Garfield at 40, he's in a suit with a briefcase.
Right.
And he's saying, I hate Merger Mondays.
What's Merger Mondays?
Merger Mondays is huge.
Oh, it's a thing.
So in the financial markets, Merger Mondays is when everyone, like when Costco's going to buy this, or
right.
Comcast is going to buy Disney or whatever, like Disney's going to buy Marvel. Merger always happens on a Monday. Merger Monday is like this big, like it's a big term in the financial markets, and the idea of Garfield having to grow up and be a middle-aged.
That's funny.
But he's surrounded by stock market guys in the markets, but he's a cat and everyone else is still a person. I mean, he's thinking it in his little speech bubble.
I do in the
thought bubble,
thought bubble.
Yeah.
Is there something in the fact, well, if you're going to make it real,
Yeah.
he would have died 35 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like, talking cat. That's always going to get me.
Sold.
The other cat stereotype is that they, like cartoon cats, they just eat fish skeletons.
Yeah, that's a
There's
thing.
no nutrients in that, you dumb cartoon cat.
No, but they pull it out. They eat the fish whole, and then they pull out the fish skeleton.
If you see Top Cat's gang down the
yeah.
alley,
Oh.
they're jonesing for a skeleton.
Yeah,
there.
they're hoeing down on a couple of
they
fish
just want a
skellies.
skelly.
Yeah. You're right. They're tomcats, though. Very different than house cats, I think you'll find. The cartoon distinction between the tomcats. Haven't you seen An American Tail?
I haven't, no.
It's funny because like all these cartoon tropes always come back. I thought when I was watching cartoons as a kid, I thought, I'm never going to really get anything out of this. And then all I've got is just this backlog of references and tropes and cliches.
I had one which I was like, I just want to reboot the Flintstones for this one joke.
Yeah.
Which is on the bus that everyone has to kind of power themselves.
Yeah.
With their feet and stuff. And then you sit down and everyone's looking at a bone. Everyone's on their bones.
That's funny. That's also a very Simpsons-esque gag.
It's a real...
Which I think the Flintstones kind of did it first.
Oh, yeah.
They always had like what we recognize as, instead of a newspaper, he'd have a tablet.
That's right.
And then like smash it or something.
Oh,
to
yeah,
screw
like
it
his
up,
sundial watch.
Yeah.
They were
all
masters
those
of
visual
detail.
gags. Yeah.
No continuity,
None.
but real detail.
The continuity in those fucked me up as a kid. Seriously, because I was this perfectionist kind of. I was like, wait a minute, no, go back. That makes no sense. And then even the continuity of the spatial, like throwing Dino out the window, and then you see the outdoors, and it's not the way that it looked from the inside.
Oh yeah,
that screwed me up as well. As a cartoonist, I'm like, no, it's got to be right.
Yeah.
Mum's like, turn off the TV, go and play your guitar.
That is, I wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't bother me that much, but you would notice that.
Yeah, it's a bit. It gets
because initially it wasn't Dino that got kicked out. They had a saber-toothed tiger cat.
You're right. It was. See,
and the song was, and they used to go to the drive-in.
That's right.
And you know what the drive-in was for? Is that they would put up the name of the episode there.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I don't remember that. That's interesting.
Because that was my favorite cartoon.
Yeah, the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
100%.
I just learned a lot about you very quickly.
Yeah. No, I loved it. Those jokes were... I always thought those jokes were so clever. It was very funny.
I'm now understanding all your cave drawing
All my cave drawing
suggestions.
But they'd always work a joke into every scene.
Yes,
You know
I
what I
love
mean?
that.
They'd
There's
always
layers.
be a thing there, yeah.
It's the original Judd Apatow film. You can watch it again and again, except the Flintstones doesn't go for an hour too long.
Oh, take that. Take that.
Deep cut, Juddy.
Take that, millionaire, successful movie maker. What else you got?
Okay. All right. I've got another one, which is someone being sentenced. They're in a court.
Yeah.
And it's someone sitting there. And then there's two things. There's a bailiff standing by.
Yeah.
And there's also this personal trainer guy standing next to him.
Right.
It's like, okay, you're sentenced, and you can choose your sentence. It's either 9 months of community service or 9 hours of foam rolling. Have you ever done?
I like the choice. I love the choice.
Have you ever done foam rolling?
Yeah, I've got.
It is
It's painful.
intensely painful.
Yeah.
I'd rather do 9 months of community service than an hour of foam rolling. I don't have a pain threshold that's very high. First of all, I'm a man, so it's already not as high.
It's low.
It's
Yeah,
low.
yeah.
And then I'm a wuss, so it's even lower. I had to box yesterday. I was in a sparring match with another comedian.
What?
It was a show. It's a series called Defend Yourself, a web series, and you have to box, and then he interviews you between rounds. And I'm not.
What is this? What is your life? What are you doing?
I know it is ridiculous. What even is my life? Yeah.
Now, this is coming from a person that
Sure.
I just flitted off to the south of France
yeah.
and I live a weird life and
Yeah.
I am worried about you.
It was something I thought sounded fun.
No,
It turns
how
out,
would that sound fun?
on paper,
here
it
is.
sounded fun.
You're gonna get punched in the face,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna film you while you look really sweaty,
Yep.
and you'll be thinking about other things.
That's the series. That's the whole series. Yeah.
What's it called? Comedians in rings getting beaten or something?
It's called Defend Yourself. But I had
You
to
already
foam
said
roll.
that. I heard. Yeah, you
I
had.
had to foam roll afterwards, and it was agony. It was absolute agony.
This
My
is very
hips.
visual, but look
Yes.
out there. Have you ever seen anything so sad in your life as the helium balloon
Oh.
floating off into Queens?
That is the saddest
Yo,
thing.
I didn't even tell you this.
What happened?
Road rage in
Yeah.
my lift
No.
yesterday. Dude gets out of the car and comes to try to
wow.
beat up the driver.
No. Where was this? Queens?
Queens.
Of course it was.
The driver, then my driver, the Lyft driver,
Yeah.
then goes, oh man, if I didn't have a passenger,
Oh,
I would have
to prison?
fought him, but he looked like he had a gun, so
Looked like he had a gun.
he was essentially going, I didn't want you to get shot.
Yeah, but also he's just making an excuse.
Also, I was like, well, that's 5 stars. I could have been shot back there.
Lift. Now, you've taken a lift, presumably from LaGuardia.
On the way, no, from
Oh, from
JFK,
JFK.
because the traffic was terrible, so we went a local
So
way.
you live in Brooklyn. You went via Queens to come back
We had
down.
to come around that way.
That
yeah.
is
but it was so
horrendous.
much quicker. It was 40 minutes as
Oh, that's
opposed
not
to
bad.
an hour and a half.
That's pretty good.
It was an hour and a half.
I love road rage stories in New York City.
Well, I was thinking, the first thing I thought was like, oh, there's probably a cartoon here, and then all
Yeah.
I could think of was Bruce Banner, and I was,
Sure. Yeah,
So
you
dumb.
must have been very tired.
I was very
Yeah,
tired.
yeah. Although I must say,
I
some
and at no stage was like, I got it. I was like, oh
Eureka.
god, just go, stop thinking.
I must say, at some of my most exhausted, 4:30 in the morning moments, I have come up with some fucking pearlers.
right.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit bored.
Yeah, you're being a bit sweary.
Yeah, I've
like it.
got a bit of ride rage. I've been riding and no one pays any attention to the marked bike lanes in New York City. They couldn't care less. Driving people
Yeah.
and pedestrians
Yeah.
could not care less about your marked bike lanes.
Yeah.
So you're constantly ringing your bell or swerving to avoid. No one
hit 'em.
cares.
Whack an elbow out.
Yeah, what is the matter with you? That's an offence.
Yeah.
That's assault.
But you're on a bike.
It's the most
You're out of there.
litigious city on earth.
No, it's not.
Oh, what is?
The most litigious state on the planet
Yeah.
is New South Wales.
You've got to be joking.
No.
But we've only got how many people? By
No, I
volume.
think it's per capita.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single person
Every
would have to be
single-
suing everyone
Yeah.
at all times.
And
Yeah.
most poker machines
Yeah.
outside Nevada is New South Wales.
No.
Yep.
Really? Oh, that's disgraceful.
Yeah.
Not more strip clubs per head of population than any other state in America. What do you reckon?
Any other state? It's going to be something tricky. I mean, you would say Nevada, but then you'd have to say if it's something small like Vermont or something weird.
No, it's not tricky like that.
Oh, right.
It's tricky like it's a cultural part of their... It's a big part of
like
their...
Rhode Island?
No. Oregon.
Portland,
Oregon. More strip clubs per head of population than anywhere. More than Tampa. More than Florida.
Ooh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah. And it's a real thing. It's like it's an actual... like an art, but it's so sad because there's not enough people to go in, so all the strip clubs are nearly empty. It's because there's too many strip clubs, not enough people who want to go.
And if a set of tits is exposed and no one's there to see them, were they really exposed,
Okay,
Jason?
moving on. Thank you. Isn't
it great to have a philosophical question and the term set of tits in the same?
I think we have an episode title. I was actually thinking this week as well, like the idea with the movie trailer thing, it really sparked an idea that, especially with like Kim Kardashian coming to meet the president and have the meeting, and then the whole thing is a reality TV show, of course, because it's just produced that way and that's all he knows, is that instead of someone going, I'm really getting a position in the Trump cabinet, it's now, you're like, oh, I really hope I get a part. I'm in a role. I'm in a position in the Trump cabinet. You know what I mean? Like, it's a role. You're auditioning.
I was going to say auditioning is the...
So there's like a casting call, like the audition room, for like certain... Instead of it being like, moving up through the regular political process, now it's open call. It's like casting. Central casting.
Yeah.
I need a
sweary guy from New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's it. Like, we've got the midterms coming up, I guess, in November. And that's like, everyone's going, where are the Democratic where's the Democratic version of Trump? Do we have a buccaneer? Someone used the word buccaneer to describe Trump the other day.
Good.
Oh, that's a bit rough. What is it? Buccaneer? I mean, but no, there's no Democratic, like, there's this one woman in California, she's like 26, I want to say, 28. She's making some waves, but then again, it's California. It's like you're playing to a home crowd. Like, it's not really that.
I'm still hoping there's like, it's like, and here's a man we've never heard of before, Spalak Obama. And it's just
moustache.
Obama with a fake moustache.
Can we do that? I'm going to do that as a cartoon. It's Barack Obama.
He's a real outsider.
An unknown. That's silly.
Yeah.
You know I love silly.
Yeah. And just his whole thing is like, this birth certificate-less outsider.
It's mope changes. Yes, we might.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't we do... I mean, I'm sure this was done... The famous Hope poster, the Shepherd Fairy, was it?
Yep.
Redo that with Trump Grope. Was that done?
Yeah, I saw that. I think actually Ann Telnay's from the Washington Post.
Right.
I think I saw that. In fact, it made it onto the Women's March. I saw a picture on the Women's March.
Oh, right.
Same design, and it said Grope.
Yeah.
But fantastic. I loved it. I thought it was one of the best posters. Yeah.
I say now I can't say it's a very good idea because I thought I had it. So.
No, it still is. I can say that. You cannot.
No, I can't. But trust me, when we stop recording, I will say it repeatedly. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if, like, off here, I was like, if people met us and they were like, oh, hey, I bumped into those guys. Is there something in there? Something in this, guys, were at the bar. Scott didn't shut up about his ideas. He was like really like, hey, this one's funny. Shh, listen to this. Here's one that didn't make the cut, but I like it. Like, and it's just, he's a real weirdo.
That's funny.
Yeah. Also, Jason speaks German.
I've got one this week just for you to cringe at. Another one, just like I love giving you ones that you'll hate.
To make me think about, yeah.
It's a talking animal one though.
Good, no, I'm in it. Yeah.
So you're in. It's a cow. He's running away. They're trying to kill him, but he keeps running away and surviving. And he's saying, I'm not so easily swayed.
Oh, I don't mind that.
It's very silly. It's a very silly pun.
It's a very,
that's my jam. That's what I love.
But what, the guys with the bolt gun?
Yeah, they've got the what do you call it, a taser gun? Or
no, they use a bolt gun.
Is it a bolt gun?
Yeah.
God. Yeah, and there was also, like, I remember Joe Data did a a sheep
Do we say, can
killing cartoon.
we talk about Joe Data a bit?
Yeah.
Would we pronounce it data? How's it spelled?
Dator.
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 Yeah, he pronounces it Joe Dater.
Yeah, but he's American.
Yeah, so we'd say Data.
But then I guess it's like we don't call him Jay-Z.
No, we'd call him Datesy.
Yeah.
We wouldn't say, Joe Data. He's a great guy. Came to my show. Very nice. Thanks, Joe. He's a very funny cartoonist. In fact, he's been in the New Yorker so many times, but this is all he does. Like, it's not like this isn't his side hustle. He just does cartoons.
Right.
He is a professional cartoonist and a damn good one at that.
Jeez.
He's had plenty of good ones.
Yeah.
Follow him on Instagram, Joe
Do
Data.
we have a batch? I don't know if we've got a batch.
I think we've actually got a batch, as well as the fact that we have some left over from last week that didn't go in.
Oh.
Because I only ever want, you don't want to, like, if we come up with 26, 27 ideas, you don't want to bring in 27. You whittle it down to, say, 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Show them. And then have the other ones as like, all right, well, maybe I'll pitch them next week or whatever. And then there's also ones that she's said in previous weeks, maybe repitch this one in 6
Repitch
months.
that one again.
So I've flagged them as repitch on this
Oh,
day.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So we actually do.
Have we
Yeah.
done this before? Or has someone done this before? Okay, there's someone saying, love animals. Oh, no, I'm vegan because I hate plants.
Who hates plants?
Right? I just want to eat them all. Fuck them.
No, that's great. See, this is very similar to French. No, I'm just pretentious.
I'm pretentious, yeah.
This is a series I'm sensing from Scott
it's-
Dooley's.
Do you know what? Do you know why I like it? Because
Yeah.
ideally it's probably a 2-panel strip.
I think maybe it is. Yeah.
But then to kind of, if you can whittle that down.
Yeah.
That selfish love is too clunky.
Yep.
Hate plants.
Hate plants is good. I think it's insane that someone would hate plants and would say it so
I think
matter of
that's
factly.
the joke.
That's
Yeah.
the joke. Is it some dork just with going, no, I hate
Like removing them, wanting to remove themselves from the Peter.
Yeah.
types.
But looks like one.
Oh, absolutely.
But has a
Yeah.
sleeve, maybe a moustache, a fancy hat, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry to reduce everyone to a stereotype, but that's cartooning.
Do we have any?
We
listener
have some suggestions. Thank you for sending them in, as always. Send them in to either jasonchatfieldcomedy@gmail.com or just DM me on Instagram @jasonchatfield.
Slide into the DMs.
Slide into me old chattos DMs. All right, one from Shane Lloyd. Thanks, Shane. This one, he said, "G'day, gents." So here's a couple. So I'm guessing he's Aussie.
You made him sound like such a.
Yeah, I know, right? G'day, guys. How you fucking going?
Yeah, because he's typed this from his shovel.
Yeah. Just got me bloody wife to
Yeah.
type this one to you. Number 1. Okay. It's like Alf.
It'll change the way I see the joke
Totally.
as well.
Yep. Da Vinci's Last Supper.
Yeah. Has he got a Da Vinci?
He's got a Da Vinci's
joke?
Last
Okay.
Supper.
Yeah.
And Jesus talking to the waitress, and he's saying, "We'll just have the bread, thanks." So we'll just have the bread, thanks. Now, we had something about like gluten-free, or I know it's a little bit of a hack gag to have the Jesus Last Supper, gluten-free. Oh, no, I'm gluten-free. Like, you know how he turns, water into wine, and the loaves, and the fish, and the blah, 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 right?
I mean, maybe that's the joke. No. Tap water's fine.
Tap's
and he's like kind
fine.
of joking
That's
around with
funny.
his mates. Yeah.
Tap's fine, thanks.
Yeah. The look on their face.
No, we'll just have the tap.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
There's something in that, in the idea that
Yeah,
he's
wineless.
constantly...
No, tap water's fine.
Bring us-
Kind of giving Doubting Thomas a bit of a wink.
Yeah. Bring us a bottle of tap and 3 Reidels.
Yeah. That's great.
That's great. And number 2.
Oh wait.
Yep,
Oh,
okay.
also Last Supper. Just
Go
another.
on. Yes.
Another Last. Judas, you're fun to leave the tip.
That's good. Yeah. I saw something about the Last Supper and then like the last splitting, like the last... Because there was the last brunch. I saw the last brunch. This is a whole bunch of it's a similar scenario.
Yeah.
But then there was like the last check splitting or something like that, and everyone's like, "Did you have the the fish? Did you have the loaves? Like,
Yeah.
What did you get?" I've seen a bunch, and it's not a New Yorker trope, but it's getting close because I've seen tons of them. It's very well.
Yeah, it's a pretty well worn path.
It's one of the first. My red flag is always if it's the first thing you think of when you're thinking of a cartoon about the Last Supper, probably been done, and then inevitably you'll jump on Google Images or Cartoon Bank, and someone will have done pretty much gone down that path.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the millions that were submitted before that one was bought
That's
by the
right.
New Yorker.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
The second one is a female praying mantis. Jeez, we've
God,
got a theme.
have we actually submitted any of these?
We have.
The praying mantis
Every
jokes.
week I will submit a praying mantis cartoon and she expects them now. So she'll be going through the piles, she'll be like, oh, here it is, there's the praying mantis, and none of them get through. It's a raised eyebrow at best. It's none of it. So just know that, Shane. Going
All
in.
right, Shane.
No bloody worries, mate. A female praying mantis sitting on the end of the bed, dead partner next to her.
Great.
She's
Sold.
she's looking at a pregnancy test with the line on it, the positive line. It's like, bugger. The only problem is, Shane, I don't know if you've done a sex on anyone. It doesn't happen that quickly.
What about this? Like praying mantis Father's Day just doesn't exist.
That's great. Praying Mantis Father Day is just this empty. It's just a lot of sad kids with like.
Yeah, or at the
sad-
praying mantis
Oh, that's funny.
cemetery.
It's a cemetery. Is it a cemetery gag with a bunch of
Didn't we
praying
have a
mantises?
cemetery gag?
We did. It was the pet cemetery.
Did it go
where
in?
spirit animals are born.
Oh yeah. I can't remember.
It
if we
went in as a
did it.
rough. I think I'm going to repitch because that's a solid. I
I
like
think
that
it's
gag.
not a bad joke.
I think
Yeah,
it's good,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe the idea of
Praying Mantis Father's Day is really funny because it takes a step.
that's
to get-
right.
and I love that. I love
Yeah,
that it's
yeah,
not immediately apparent. You go,
Yeah.
of course. I wonder, again, here's my brain just going to the cartoon bank. I wonder if Joe Data's done it.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a case of us just texting Joe and Ellis. Have you done this? Cool.
Done this?
We're going to pitch it.
They just auto reply with yes every time.
Yeah.
just to stave us
No,
off.
Will McPhail did.
McPhail. The best thing about McPhail is, as you would suspect, he's Scottish. So he's
Right.
got this devastatingly kind of, charming accent,
I
Scottish
love
accent.
I was talking to someone today about
Love
the
a
best
Scotsman.
accent's the Scottish
A
accent.
young Scotsman, not an old Scotsman that I let play
You know!
golf. No,
That's
none of
my
that.
Scottish accent.
Not the Billy. Yeah,
The Billy Connolly. You know, do you ever?
But then
That's Jim Owen.
Jim Owen. That is not the
Yes,
same. By the way, the people we have had some great feedback from people who are just so thrilled that we're reading
Oh, nice one.
their thing.
Yeah,
So
thank
that's
you for writing. Thank you, Shane.
yeah. Thanks, Shane. Another one here from Chad. Thanks for the shout out on the podcast. Now that means he's a repeat offender.
Oh, Chad.
But I held back on reading this last week.
Oh, that's
'cause
right. You said that.
I don't
yeah.
want to encourage back to back Chads. Here we go. Guy in leather jacket greeting another guy in a leather jacket who is arriving for an AA style meeting, but they're all sitting with the chairs turned around, pointing double finger guns at each other.
Dad's Anonymous or
Hip Teachers Anonymous.
Hip Teachers Anonymous. Because we had a Hip Teachers
You
joke.
had one that was like hip teacher training.
Hip Teacher College.
College, and they're all
Yeah,
sitting on
Cool
the
Teacher College.
Cool Teacher
Yeah,
College is
something
what
like
it is, and
that.
they're all
Yeah,
sitting
yeah.
on the chairs backwards.
Yeah.
We did put that one in.
I think Chad shares a similar sense of humour to me, which is the guy sitting on a chair backwards is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me. I'm already
Totally.
laughing at that. I think that's funny.
yeah. And also like the
Anything
elbows
else-
crossed over the top of the chair.
Anything else is just
Yeah, totally.
an accoutrement. I don't need
Because he's added like a caption like, "Hey, welcome to Hip Teachers Anonymous. Grab a seat." But it's like, no. You would just put on the door.
It's on the door.
Hip
That
Teachers
was our
Anonymous,
joke,
6
right?
PM.
It was on the
No,
door.
we had a couple, and then another one was like Workaholics Anonymous.
Oh,
and
no one was there.
It was like 7 o'clock at night, and there was still no one there. There's just one guy checking his watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that joke.
Yeah, there's plenty of anonymous jokes. So thank you for that, Chad. He was also saying, alternatively, he could just say, "Hey, welcome, pull up a pew."
Have we done one with everyone like with pull up a pew's funny?
Yeah.
Have we done one with like everyone wearing Guy Fawkes masks? Anonymous?
Yeah, you pitched that before.
Did we do that?
I
Yeah,
think
that
it
sounded
has been
familiar.
done.
It seems like I'd
Because
be
I
very
Googled it.
surprised if it hadn't been done.
I remember Googling it and going, "Oh, damn, it's been done." It's fun to see those because you're like, I wonder how they executed it. So when
Yeah.
I sit down to do them, I'm like, how's the best way to do this?
Yeah.
It is tough. So thank you for your suggestions. If you do have any, be sure to send them in to me. Scott won't check his.
I'm sorry.
What do you got going on this week? What's going on in the world of duels?
I Ashka's away, so I'm kind
she's
of...
still in Paris, is she?
Yeah, she's in Paris. She had to
Great.
work. So now after our conversation, there's a good chance I'll smoke weed and watch the Flintstones.
That's great. Just being naughty while
Yeah,
mum's
yeah,
away.
yeah.
So I am going to Atlantic City over the weekend.
Oh.
Sophie's
Are you
birthday.
gigging?
No, the Borgata books through someone else, but I don't think I'm going to go see a comedy show. Sophie has never been to Atlantic City.
What are you... Is she your gangster mistress? You're taking her to
She's my
Atlantic
guma.
City? She's
She's
your
my guma.
guma.
I've never been. She's never been, and she said I said, "What do you want for your birthday?" She's like, "I just want to go to Atlantic City. I've never been." I'm
How
like,
do
"You
you
know,
get
it's
there?
not a magic city of Oz, right?"
Do you drive or fly?
You take a bus from exactly what you think it is. You take a bus from Port Authority.
Oh, wow.
With a bunch of
With a
blue
bunch of-
rinse, old women with purses full of coins.
How
on a
long does it
Friday
take to
afternoon.
get there?
3 hours.
Oh, that's all right.
It's not too bad, but 3 hours on a bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did take a 9-hour bus to Montreal though, so this is easy.
So,
Yeah.
and then what's the plan?
The plan is she wants to do a bit of gambling, just a little bit, just to say she's done it. Like, because when I've done casino comedy gigs, she'll come with me and just, because they'll give me a room and all that sort of stuff. So we'll just end up on the gaming floor poking fun at people, basically.
Right.
Just people watching and going, oh, this is awful, and then chucking a few in. And I think she just wants to hang out, see a show, see some music, see Atlantic City. Just
Where are
have-
you staying? Are you staying at the Trump
I
International?
think we're staying at the Borgata.
I should know what that is.
No,
I
it's.
don't know.
I mean, I think it's a complex of some kind, and it's like it's, Trump. It's Trump Town. All of
Yeah.
Atlantic City is just dead. Its soul is dead, and at the center of it all is this casino complex, and all
Right.
around it is just people who the only job in town is to work at the casino.
Is it in? It's in New Jersey, right?
Yeah, I think so. She's planned the whole thing. I'm just going along for the ride.
You're
paying
quite.
for it.
Yeah, you're lovely, aren't you?
No, I'm just a
She's
cantankerous
planning
old
a
man.
whole. She plans.
She's planning her
everything.
birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, for herself.
Good.
I said,
Yeah.
right, I just put it on the card, darling.
That's
You know?
great. Yeah.
So we may.
Well, you got that dandruff money now.
Yeah.
She's spending your dandruff
Sweet,
money.
sell some
That's
blue
sweet,
coins.
Sell some blue. That's sweet, sell some blue dollars.
All right, I could murder a beer, and you could murder a nap.
All right. We might go and have a quick beer.
All right, this is fun. We'll see you next week.
Sweet.